Hey, how's it going? Brian Bowman here, and I hope you're having an amazing day. And I've got some very, very cool stuff to talk to you about today. So if you are selling products online and you're just having an issue converting people, we're going to talk about some things that are going to help you fix that. I think that's pretty much what most people are going through, right? It's because setting the stuff up is easy. Setting up a store is pretty easy now, right? There's a lot of options. You can set up ClickFunnels. There's Shopify. There's BigCommerce. There's Magento. Like there's all these options. Generally, I think most people are using Shopify for their physical products. There are a lot of reasons why we still use ClickFunnels, but the main thing is the technology has made it easier. So that barrier to entry is gone. Sourcing the products is the barrier to entry is gone, right? And driving the traffic, right? Running the ads, the barrier to entry is gone. Now it's just, okay, we're getting the traffic. How do we get people to convert? So I want to talk to you about one of the most powerful things that we've been using for a long time. We've been teaching our students to do, and I want you to start doing. I'm gonna tell you a quick story of like how powerful this can be. And then we want to dive into exactly like, what is it, how to use it, and how to use it at scale. So I'm a huge golfer. I love golf. I've been golfing my whole life, and I've played at like a really highly competitive level. I played in the mini tours, which is like professional golf. It's like AAA baseball, like equivalent. And so I'm just getting back into it again. I'm playing a ton of golf. And one of the things I'm frustrated by is my shirts. So this is going to sound a little weird, but if you've ever golfed, if you don't have the right shirt, they can be a little bit tight. So, golf, you make a big full swing and your shirt can really get constricted, right? It can just make you feel tight and you want to feel loose when you're swinging. So I was golfing with these guys. I just got randomly paired up with them. And one of the guys, I don't know this guy. I never met him. We just literally just met. He goes, man, I just love these Under Armour shirts. I just feel, normally when I'm swinging, I feel so constricted. And as he's saying it, I'm like nodding my head, like inside my head. I'm like, yup, exactly. I know exactly what you mean. He's like, and I'm just tired of it. And I found these Under Armour shirts. They're amazing. They flex. I can move my body freely. I love them. That like one comment he made, I went out. I actually asked him, I said, where did you get the shirts? He's like, oh, I got them. I think he said Kohl's or Golf Galaxy. I think it was actually Kohl's because I went and right afterwards I bought like $150 worth of these golf shirts. Okay. So think about this for a second. I've never met this guy. I don't know him from Adam, right? He points out exactly my pain point, like the thing that I'm frustrated by. There's a clear solution I want. He found the solution. He like named it. And then he told me where he got it, where to go. And I went and literally just $150 that I wouldn't have spent. I went and spent, and they got my business. So why is this important? Well, that was essentially live user-generated content. It was something where I was there and I heard it. It touched on my pain points. It was exactly what I needed. I knew the problem I had. I knew there was a solution I was looking for. I just didn't know the product existed. He named the product and I went straight to where I could find it. I took my money out of my wallet and I spent my money and I bought it. Okay. So why is this important? Because this is something that people struggle with all the time. You have a great product. You know that it solves a problem and you're getting the word out, but you just can't get people to cross that finish line, right? You can't get them to just actually, if I had my wallet, I would show you like, take their wallet out, take out the card and spend the money. Well, the thing that made it happen, it wasn't because I had this great relationship built up with this guy. It was just that I heard it. He touched on the things I needed and I went and took action based on that. So user-generated content is the key. This is huge. There are a lot of necessary yet not sufficient conditions that have to be met. What do I mean by that? In other words, there's no magic like bullet, right? There's no one size fits all solution. There's no secret. There's just systems and processes, and there's things that you need to have. They're necessary. Alone, they're not sufficient. There's everyone's trying to convince you there's this necessary and sufficient condition. If you just have this one thing, this is the secret. That's not how it works. So sorry. And I think intuitively, you know that already. But there are a lot of necessary things you need that together in aggregate will start to become sufficient to allow you to scale. and allow you to grow your business and actually have a legitimate business. So systems and processes are huge. One of the things you have to have systematized is gathering user-generated content and then using it, like actually having a way to use it. So what is UGC? UGC, user-generated content. This is something I said we've been using for years. It's amazing. Now I think it's getting trendy. Like more people are talking about it, talking about the value of it because they understand how powerful this is. It's just content that's generated from your customers, people who have bought from you, had a positive experience, and they share their experience, whether it's through, even just a selfie with the product, right? That's user-generated content. It's it's social proof that I spent my money, I bought this thing, and look, I'm sharing it with the world. One of the most powerful UGCs out there, or most powerful form of UGC, which is what I want to talk about specifically today, is video reviews, video content. And you can use images really well, but video content is huge because of that one thing that happened on that golf course. Is if done correctly, and you need, you'll curate for the best ones, but if you get the right content, it can be worth like just thousands and thousands of dollars to you because it's going to touch on the pain points. It's going to speak directly to your consumer, and they're going to realize that this is raw, unedited, actual customer footage. Okay. And it has the same effect that that golfer had on that golf course with me. So there's lots of ways to use UGC. One of my favorite is video. And anything you can get is better than nothing. So there's a rule I kind of live by, which is I will never lose a sale for saying too much. I will lose it for saying too little. So especially with video, it won't cost you conversions by having too much video testimonials from your customers. You know what I mean? So how do you get it? The best way to get it is actually in your post-purchase sequences. Okay. So after somebody buys from you, and I want you to sort of nod your head if you're like, when I say post-purchase emails, you're like, oh yeah, right, I need to do that. Most people, just so you know, have almost nothing. They're doing almost nothing with their post-purchase sequences. They're doing absolutely nothing. And it's critical that you start having something in place. Again, something is better than nothing, okay? And one of the things you must put in place, you have to systematize your collection of this UGC. You do it by having a process where you incentivize buyers after they've bought from you, after they've given you their trust, right? There's been a transaction. You're starting to nurture that relationship. Then you incentivize them to go ahead and leave you that video review. Now, what is the incentive? It can be anything. It can be a discount. It can be a gift card. It can be a special sale, special promotion just for them. It could be a free gift. You can test a variety of things. Again, there's no one size fits all, and there's no magic bullet to this, but I will tell you that it is a necessary condition for success in your business, especially nowadays where you've got to cut through all the noise. There's so much freaking noise, right? Everyone is they're running ads because barrier to entry is down. It's really easy to push out ads, to push out content, to push out, stuff to get people's attention. And to cut through all that noise, to get a signal in all that noise, something that is actually going to get reception and get people to actually connect and to pay attention, because what you're looking for is attention. Once you get the attention, then your job is to nurture that attention ultimately to a conversion. UGC video content especially is one of the most powerful ways to capture that attention, cut through all the noise, hit a signal, and get people to actually listen and give your product a chance. Okay. So you have to capitalize on every single opportunity. And the biggest opportunity, I can tell you, we build it into every post-purchase sequence we build, whether it's through Messenger or email or phone numbers with SMS texting, every post-purchase sequence we build. And I recommend you start with email because that's where most people should start. And that's probably going to be your highest return on your time investment. And it really should be the foundation of everything you do. You have to have a systematic way of incentivizing your customers to leave you that video review. And at the end of the day, virtually all of them are going to have a positive experience. And as long as you nurture that relationship and you give them a good incentive, they're going to take the time. Now, we have a process that we use in the intensive. that's pretty streamlined. It makes it really, really easy. We've built it over a long time of testing a lot of things and breaking a lot of things and figuring out what doesn't work. So you're going to want to test it, right, to figure out what works best for you and what's going to get actually people to give you the content. But I promise you, it's worth the effort. It's worth the time. It's one of the most powerful conversion assets you will have in your business. And you can use it at all different stages in your sales process, in your funnel. It could be top of funnel content to get attention. It could be, so for example, you could put it out as an ad, run to a massive audience, to your cold audience, that just says like, imagine if it's that guy, right, that I talked about on the golf course, if it's that golf shirt, like, I'm so tired of these things always being tight. And finally I found a shirt that just allows me to swing freely. It's amazing. It's the best shirt I've ever had. Okay. Well, you could just run that to a cold traffic, just golf audience and get their attention. But then later on, maybe they go through your sales process and they abandon cart. All right. Well, cart abandonment is also an amazing place to use your UGC, because people are right at that stage where they're ready to cross over. They just don't quite believe that your product is the best solution. So this is going to be the thing that's going to push them over the edge. Now they realize, wow, this is really, worth checking out. Because at the end of the day, it's a small investment, right? It's not a massive thing that they're, it's not thousands of dollars, right? It's a $30 golf shirt in this case, or a $40 golf shirt that I ended up going and buying 4 of. Because I just was like, that's it. It was such a big problem that I had. It solved the problem. And here I am talking about it. And if you're a golfer and you're listening to this, you're probably going to go buy them too. So you see how this stuff starts to compound. So yeah, this is UGC for these golf shirts. In any case, I hope it resonates and you think like, all right, let me start doing this. And if anything, I hope it just pushes you to make this a priority, because I promise if you make this a priority and you start to test this, and like I said, we've gone through a lot of iterations of this, and that's exactly what we teach in our intensive, but your process may or may not be different. So it has to start today so you can start cutting the fat and figuring out, what's the thing that actually works. And you can start scaling that, because I promise you, it is absolutely one of the best conversion assets you will have in your business. And this is how you start becoming a professional. There's a lot of amateurs out there. There's a lot of amateur marketers, a lot of amateur brands, a lot of amateur sellers. This is what starts separating the amateurs from the professionals. It's not just setting up ads, building a store, getting some product. It starts when we start getting into the strategy and the reason why, and being very intentional on why we're doing what we're doing. These are the small things that make the difference. And the difference between those who succeed and everyone else, I mean, it's this much. And that little bit is what separates the amateurs from the professionals. It's the ones who are systematic. It's the ones who test. It's the ones who understand what are my vital few? What are the things that are actually going to make a difference? Let's double down on that, focus on that, and say no to everything else. So trust me when I say UGC is something you want to be focusing on. And if it means you have to say no to some other things to get this in place, it is absolutely going to be worth your time and your attention. So get started, go get after it, get it implemented. I'll talk to you soon.